The thing that drew me to this land was a craving to be very close to Montfort Beach, where I'd done a lot of surfing in the past. And living here now, we're enjoying a home that has a really strong sense of light and outlook and gives a real feeling of space. My name's Chris McKimm. I'm a founding director of InForm, and today we are at our home, the Montfort House. So the Montfort House is in Blairgowrie, and it's on top of a sand dune about 600 metres from the ocean. This is one of 7 houses that InForm and Plaisir Perkins designed on an 8-acre site. I retired from the company about 2 years ago, but I started when I was 16 as an apprentice carpenter. And I just had a desire to create a company that had its own uniqueness and to offer architect design quality houses, but to make them available to a wider portion of the population. So my introduction to Montfort Beach was about 50 years ago when it was an unknown surf break. And I remember the very first day a friend and I walked down there and we saw these incredible waves. We spent the whole day down there. We surfed, I think, 3 different times. That just started a lifelong love of that beach for me. But predominantly, we wanted a home that really blended in with the environment, because what is most special about this location at Montfort is the environment. But the house really had to respond to that environment. So there are 2 major things with regard to the brief. One was the views to the south, but the other challenge was the winter sun to the north. And further to that, my wife and I knew that we would be living in the house a lot by ourselves, but we also knew that with 4 kids and 5 grandchildren, we're going to be inundated with a lot of people. So the house was deliberately zoned to cater for all of those people and the different aspects of living in the house. So the design of the house starts with walking up the stairs from the front door with a deliberate big window that gives anybody coming into the property for the first time a glimpse of the views to the south. The stair on the other side leads down to the basement where we have a wine cellar. And then from that bridge we can turn left into the main bedroom suite. And if we turn right, we come to the main living area, and the main living area offers views from either direction. Then beyond that, we have another suite of bedrooms and a second living area. And because of the fact that it gets rather windy up here, we have a deck to the south to enjoy the views, but if the wind is strong from the south, we have a deck to the north to enjoy those views. The garden was designed by Jack Merlo, who had a very good understanding of the site, and he designed the pool in such a way that it's set down just a little bit to really allow us to look over the pool to the views, but also made it immediately private from the neighbouring property to the west. One of the biggest challenges in building here was our neighbour to the west. And our neighbour to the west used to enjoy the whole environment without a house next door. So we agreed with the neighbour to lower the house by about 2.4 metres, and that enabled them to maintain their view of Arthur's Seat, And whilst I was a little bit apprehensive to do it in the first place because of the cost, it actually really improved our environment. And so much so that it gave us a much bigger envelope, but also protect us a bit more from the rather rugged environment down here. The palette and materiality of the home was predominantly on reflecting elements of the surrounding vegetation. So the external brick walls take on a greyness similar to the trunks of the tea tree. The timber ceilings reflect the natural timbers in the national park. And it was deliberately rather neutral, so again, the house wasn't the dominant feature, but the house reflected the environment upon which it was built. One of the areas of this home that we get most enjoyment out of is sitting out in the southern deck with a southeasterly wind, a big ocean swell, and looking at the ever-changing sky and listening to the ocean.